In today's MLB recap, we're going to watch the worst call in MLB history. I'm not joking. This was the worst call according to the stats. We have a new worst umpire in baseball now that Angel Hernandez isn't in the game anymore. We got to talk about this dude. Staying with history, we saw one of the shortest home runs in the history of baseball down on the Angels and Red Sox game. That was a crazy game. Emmanuel Clase is trying to get some revenge. He's going mano-a-mano in the 9th inning versus Aaron Judge, just like they did in October last year, and it did not go Clase's way. Actually, before I complete the sentence, knocking on wood, Adley Rutschman and the Orioles might finally be waking up, and Pete Alonso, yeah, he went crazy against the Dodgers yesterday. So we'll get into all of that and more in today's MLB recap. We recap every baseball game almost every single day on the channel, so help grow the game of baseball with me. Leave a like and also hit that subscribe button. Don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Please save yourself 20 bucks off all of your tickets. I'm talking baseball tickets, concert tickets using code Fuzzy, and if it doesn't work, try a new email. And do not forget to download Underdog Fantasy today, because if you do it today with code Fuzzy, you get a free SGA pick'em for game 1 of the finals. You get up to $1,000 in bonus cash credit. It is by far the best fantasy app. A lot of you guys have been crushing it with your ball knowledge, so congrats to all you guys who are winning lately. But as always, please play responsibly if you do download with code Fuzzy. Starting off today's recap, you're all about to witness one of the craziest regular season games of the entire year, and it all started before the game. Tyler Anderson, a starter for the Angels, allegedly said that Boston first base coach Jose Flores was stealing signs in his previous start, and they got into it. There was cursing, there was pointing. Anderson ended up talking to Alex Cora while Cora sipped on a Starbucks. Anyways, Lucas Giolito got flooded. He was absolutely awful. Nolan Schanuel and Taylor Ward both had RBI extra base hits. Ward's was a 3-run tater over the monster, but lucky for Giolito, his offense came right back to take the lead. A super rare stinker for Jose Soriano, who gave up 5 after Giolito gave up 4. Willier had an RBI, Meyer had a base hit, a walk, Toro had an RBI, David Hamilton had a 2-run slapper the other way, 2 bases, 2 RBIs. Now we have a 3-baser. Zach Neto, he got it just past Ceddanne Rafaela. That is not easy to do. The triple ties it. Nolan Schanuel, again, his 2nd RBI double, so that's a 7 spot against Lucas Giolito. He only made it 5 outs. Both teams, they traded a few sac flies, so it's 7-6 for the Boston rookie catcher, Carlos Narvaez, and of course he ties it. It's also a 7 spot off of Soriano. Now we have some more trading of runs. It's 8-8 in the 8th inning. The Halos just retook the lead. Kevin Newman apparently still plays baseball. That's a go-ahead RBI. Oh no. Neto and Chris Taylor, they both whiffed it. It's 9-9 after Rafi's 54th RBI got through. We're in the 9th inning. Ceddanne, he popped up a weak fly ball to... Wait, it left! It's a walk-off 308-foot home run. That is the shortest walk-off home run in the history of baseball, just ahead of pesky Pole. Ceddanne now has a home run in 3 consecutive games. The Red Sox, they just barely avoid the sweep. Taylor Ward was not the only guy to have 4 RBIs in a game and still somehow take the L. Wait, hold up. LaMonte Wade Jr. is done in San Francisco. Look at the graphic. They DFA'd not only LaMonte Wade Jr., but Sam Huff. Wade had a 380 on base and a 120 OPS from 2023 to 2024, but he's 31 years old, hitting 167 with -5 DRS. I didn't know he was that bad this year. And Dom Smith, I guess he's taking his spot. So if you guys want LaMonte Wade Jr., you can have him. Buster Posey, he's the GM. He was explaining the moves before the game. Gavin Sheets, he's going to chug around for a 2-run triple. The Padres, they were spraying RBI base hits throughout the first part of the game. Jackson had an RBI double, and Gavin, he got 2 more on a ball that deflected off the pitcher. That was straight out of MLB The Show. We call that the pitcher wall when we're playing MLB The Show. Here comes the Giants, though. Patrick Bailey, he has a double in back-to-back games. He's batting .353 his last 5 games. I know it's a short sample size, but for Patrick Bailey, that's really good. Matt Chapman, he just cut the lead in half. I forgot to look at how many home runs he has, but I know he has a lot of them. The bases are juiced in the 7th for Heliot Ramos, and Ramos just cleared the bases. For the first time in 16 games, the Giants scored more than, I think, 4 or 5 runs. It's knotted up at 5. Jung-Hoo Lee, he did his job. It's 6-5 on the sac fly. Now it's up to the closer, Ryan Walker, who gave up a leadoff base hit to Tatis. Arise, he got a barrel onto a baseball, but look at Daniel Johnson, who just joined the squad. He ran forever. He got there moments later. No one got to this ball. Manny singled on the miscommunication. 2 were on for Jackson Merrill, and Randy Rodriguez is in now, not Walker. He got Merrill to chase on the slider, and ball game. That's his first save of the season. He has a 0.66 ERA. The Giants are 34-28. The Padres are 35-25. I'm not trying to jinx anything, I swear, but I have to bring this up early in the recap. Adley Rutschman and the Orioles, they might be waking up. He had 3 base hits the game before and now a long home run. Emerson Hancock and Cade Povich, I will say they were both awesome, both young guys trying to find their way in Major League Baseball, but Cal made it 2 runs versus the Baltimore young lefty. Gunnar helped out Cade with a sweet play at home. J.P. Crawford was originally called safe, but the replay overturned it, so it stays 2-1, which means that this This right here is a go-ahead 2-run triple. Heston Kjerstad, he hooked one. It's now 3-2. His third triple in the last 3 days. If he and Kobe Mayo get going, the Baltimore Orioles lineup is going to be ridiculous. Rowdy had a scary final out. I'm sure that Boston fans were holding their breath the entire time. Who caught that? Who is that? Oh, I think that's Jordan Adams. He catches the final out. So Felix, he now has 11 saves. The Orioles, out of nowhere, have won 5 games in a row. They lead baseball in ERA the last week. And then there's the Mariners. They're 3-7 their last 10. This is going to be a quick game, but it still absolutely blows my mind that Jackson Chourio just turned 21 a few months ago. Remember, he had 29 doubles, 21 home runs, 22 stolen bases, and a 120 OPS plus last year. I mean, that's a lot. I'm running out of breath. He did it at 20 years old. This was his 10th of 2025. He put his team out in front, and the Brewers never looked back. Connor Joe, I mean, he didn't need to look back on this swing, but at least he tried, right? Daz Cameron goes 437 feet for a 2-run dazzling home run. See what I did there? That's his first of the season. We have another Milwaukee home run. Isaac Collins, I almost said Ezok. It is not Ezok. Isaac Collins lifted out his second big league home run. Quinn Priester gets the W after he goes 5 really good innings. After DL Hall started the game as an opener, he goes 3 innings, just 1 base hit. So his last 6 innings, he's allowed 1 total base hit. The Brewers, they've won 12 series in a row. They're 34-29. The Reds, they're slipping. They're 30-33. Oh my God, wait, the Rockies? Okay, so they just won their first series, right? But they have 1 game left. For the first time since May 2024, the Rockies have a chance of sweeping a team. Hunter Goodman, he almost took out his teammate. That was a rocket base hit, and it got past the left fielder, so he gets a triple. Wait, is this what I think it is? Heston Kjerstad is back in Major League Baseball. Cal Quantrill, the former Rocky, he welcomed him back to the big leagues by running across the infield. He makes the diving catch. See, pitchers are athletes as well. Now, back to the Rockies. We have back-to-back 2-out doubles, which helped out Kyle Freeland. So Freeman doubled ahead of Jordan Beck, and Beck drove into the track. Doyle, he skied a sac fly, and thank God he did that because Freeland, he's trying to get his first W of the year. The Marlins, they're rallying. They got 2 in the 7th inning, but it stays at 2 because the Rockies turned in a perfect relay. Tyler Kinley, the veteran, came in for the save, a 1-2-3 9th inning. That, my friends, is the first sweep in over a year for the Rockies and the first one in 2025 for the longtime veteran, Kyle Freeland. Have you guys ever seen the movie Angels in the Outfield? Well, we saw an An-hel go to the outfield and out of the outfield. Sorry, that was really bad, but no, for real. An-hel Martinez hit a baseball way over the short porch for his 4th home run. I cannot tell if An-hel Martinez is good or not. Jose, he loves playing in Yankee Stadium. I think he has a 1,200 OPS in Yankee Stadium. He's booking it for 2. He has a 30-game on-base streak, and Daniel Schneemann, he made it back-to-back doubles, so it's 3-0 for Luis Ortiz, who made light work of the Yankees. He almost went 6 shutout with 7 strikeouts. His fastball gets up to 98-99, and that slider can really slide. He has a 3.1 ERA with 66 strikeouts his last 54 innings. Remember, they basically traded Andres Gimenez for Luis Ortiz, and I am loving it lately, just like I'm loving this. Manzo, with his 11th home run, he had 0 home runs his last 15 and just 9 base hits total, so he really needed that. Oh, here we go. I'm hyped up for this right here. We have a rematch of the last ALCS. We have Emmanuel Clase versus Aaron Judge. Clase got Judge to whiff on the... Okay, so what is going on? No, please, no. Bellinger, he doubled to left field. It's 2nd and 3rd with Goldie coming up. Okay, there's 101 to get Goldie, and there's another slider. All 3 outs came on the strikeout. The Guardians, they secured their 8th shutout of the season. They're 33-27. The Yankees, they're still on cruise control. They're 37-23. Let's go find the other New York team because they're taking on the mighty Dodgers. 2 guys basically beat LA, Pete Alonso and the starting pitcher Griffin Canning. Just like the Guardians, the Mets put up 3 quick runs in the first. Soto, he got really 1 chance to swing and he grounded up for the RBI. Then he took 3 walks the rest of the game. Big Meat Pete, Polar Bear Pete, he has 13 home runs and RBIs, 49 and 50. Check this out. Ronald's little brother, Luis Angel Acuna, he was rocking the catcher's mask, and we're still playing a kid's game. Lindor fouled it off straight to him, and again, at the end of the day, it's a kid's game. They're all just playing backyard baseball, just with fancy uniforms. Ooh, we have former Angels teammates taking each other on. Look at that crazy sinker out the hand of Griffin Canning. Griffin froze Ohtani to complete 5 shutout. I don't know if it's a sinker, it might be a 2-seam, but he ended up getting Freeman in the 6th as he completed 6 scoreless with 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk. He has a 2.9 ERA after putting up a 5.2 ERA with the Angels last year. The biggest difference, he has way more spin on the slider, and he's throwing it more this year. He's really limiting the changeup. There's Soto with his 3rd walk, and yeah, you just can't do that to Pete Alonso. His 2nd of the night, he has 14 home runs and 53 RBIs. Andy Paes, he ended the scoring with the home run, his 12th, but it didn't mean anything. The Mets are now 4-2 against the Dodgers this season. Because we talked about Juan Soto a few times, let's go find a guy who was once traded for Juan, McKenzie Gore. He might actually strike out 300 hitters. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but he might do it in the future. He had the jam of all jams, bases loaded, nobody out in the first. He got the dangerous PCA to strike out. strikeout, then Dansby, and then he popped up Nico to escape it. We have more strikeouts coming. He made Carson Kelly and PCA both chase. Crazy enough, the Cubs lefty Matthew Boyd, he was just as nasty. He was racking up strikeouts. It's 0-0 for a while. Alex Call, the right fielder for the Nationals, he helped out, obviously, in right field. That's a nice diving grab. And now it's Alex Call's turn to get robbed. PCA with the sprinter speed. What a catch. That was an awesome read off the bat. Pete Crow Armstrong looks, hard plays look routine. Like, that should have not been just, oh, I just caught the ball. A lot of guys are diving on that or just straight up missing it. I've said this before, but the way that Pete plays defense in the outfield almost makes me emotional as a former outfielder. Wait, Matthew Boyd has a perfect game through 5 1/3. Hello? And he ruined it. He walked the 8-hitter, and here goes the no-no. Robert Hassel, he has a single. Now, here's the thing. Boyd was still able to complete 6 shutout, but Gore went 7 scoreless. He left after striking out 7, allowing just 3 base hits. Boyd, he gave up an Oppo home run to Ahmed Rosario, and that pretty much does it. He basically got turned into Paul Skeens for a day because his offense could not do anything. The Nationals got another run off the bat of Nazem Nunez, and Kyle Finnegan, he has 17 saves. The Nationals, they're 29-32, but they're 11-5 since May 16th. The A's are not 11-5 since May 16th. They might be going 1-20 their last 21 games. I mean, okay, what in the world is going on? Ryan Jeffers and Harrison Bader, they both unloaded on pitches. Bader has 6 home runs. He's rocking a near 360 on base. The A's, they got one back because Jacob Wilson has been blessed by the baseball gods this year, and RBI double falls in. The rookie is still batting .358, but the Twins, they got it back and more. 3 singles, make it 6-1. I'm not even going to show the start from the Twins from Zebby Matthews. Like, what is going on with the A's? They just tied the worst stretch in A's history. This has not happened since 1943. The A's dropped to 23-40 after losing 20 of their last 21. The Twins, they're 34-27. So I really feel like the Twins are really flying under the radar. I know they just beat the A's, but I have a feeling about the Twins that they're about to go on a run. Something about the way that they've been playing lately, and especially against the A's, they've just been able to get their confidence, and I feel like another run is imminent. I had the weirdest dream last night that Bo Bichette got traded to the Phillies for Nate Pearson, which doesn't make any sense because Pearson isn't on the Jays anymore. He's with the Cubs, but it's probably because MLB The Show dropped a Nate Pearson Jays card in packs yesterday, and I was just annoyed with it, so it was on my mind. Anyways, I'm yapping. Check on your loved ones because Castellanos pelted a baseball out the other way. Do you know how much power you have to have, like raw power, to go that far on an inside pitch? Barrios, he's in huge trouble. Bases out of 1 out. He pops up Stott, and then he popped up Trey. So the Phillies, they're still up by 1. It could have been way worse. Mick Abel, the rookie, he's been impressive. 5 more shutout innings, 1 base hit. Okay, make it 2. Both came from Andres Gimenez, and dude, you have to catch this baseball. Bo, he's very grateful that Marsh got there. It hit the leather, but deflected off of it. That's his first triple of the season. We are tied at 1. Abel and Brias only allowed the 1. Romano, he's back where it all started. Jordan got a standing ovation, and his old battery mate, his old catcher, walked it off. That almost left for a walk-off home run. Kirk, he gets a double. Vladdy, he scores as the Jays, they improved to 32-29. The Phillies are still 37-24, so really good. We have yet another game where an outfielder should have caught a baseball, and it led to a game-time run scoring. After Glaber doubled, Andy Ibanez hit one of Palacios, who, like Marsh, got there but could not catch it. Dylan Dingler and Javier Baez added to the misery of the White Sox with 4 runs in the first inning. Dylan Dingler is so good for a catcher. Like, he's also a stud defensively. Look at this. The White Sox are making a comeback. You have a Tauchman double, a Chase Mydroth single, 2 sac flies. It's 4-4. We have a brand new ball game. Now we're in the 8th. Wencell Perez, he's going to test Michael A. Taylor, who has a rocket arm. He was initially out, but hold up the replay. They went to it, and they said that Wencell was, in fact, safe. Colt Keith, dude, I'm shattering my controller. I'm finding extra controllers to throw if this happened to me. It was fair by an inch. Colt Keith gets the go-ahead RBI, and Tommy Kahnle, he has a 1.35 ERA after a 7-pitch 9th inning. He has 8 saves. The Tigers, they're 41-22. 1 game away from being 20 games over 500. We have a rare pitching duel coming up where both guys struck out a ton. Okay, maybe not that rare because we just saw McKenzie Gore and Matthew Boyd tear it up, but after Lourdes Flair went off of Sale, Chris really locked in. Merrill Kelly was also locked in. There was how many hits? 1 hit combined through 5 for both teams. This Ketel Marte strikeout was a big one because that was the 8th strikeout, and Chris Sale just passed the legendary Christy Mathewson. He's going to be a lock for 3,000 strikeouts. I cannot wait to see it. Sale was tossing 96 in the 6th inning. That's number 9. Make it number 10. Josh Naylor, he's been stinking it up lately. He's batting .254 with the 688 OPS his last 37 games. He always does this crap. He starts off hot and then falls off. Chris Sale, he struck out 10 over 6, just a 1-run. Merrill, he was better though. This was the Braves' first hit. It took over an hour. Merrill brushed it off. He ends 6th inning. Then he goes out for the 7th. He starts it with a nasty changeup. Kelly dominated the Braves. Braves, 7 shutout, just 1 base hit. He also punched out 8. Nice way to bounce back after he allowed 4 earned runs in back-to-back starts. The Braves, they have a base load to opt. Justin Martinez, he threw the dot of all dots. A 3-2 perfect pitch, strands everyone. Ketel, he drove one for, Ketel drove a run in. That's good because Martinez, he is losing it. He had 2 walks, and then he hit a guy. Dude, he just walked Drake Baldwin. They're leaving him out there with 30-plus pitches. Michael Harris is up, and he bailed out J. Mart. He chased that a pitch below his kneecaps. That is the 5th save of the year for Justin Martinez. The Braves, they're 3-8 now with Ronald in the lineup. We have a very polite game coming up. One team allowed the other to score a bunch, and then that team said, you know what, here you go. Here's some runs for you too. And then none of them scored after that. Brandon Lowe is crushing baseballs. This ball left, and then it deflected off of Evan Carter's face. Look at the replay. That is an ouchie. Lowe, he was not done. He ripped a second RBI extra base hit. He drove in the other LOWE, but that is Josh Lowe. Brandon Lowe is now batting .360 with 13 extra base hits and 15 RBIs his last 20 games. Jonathan Aranda and Jake Mangum, they made it 4 runs off of Coomer, and I audibly said, what the F on this next base hit, because how did 2 score? I know that the first one scored, but where was Kumar going? He was late to the bag. Then, maybe his controller ran out of batteries or something. He just forgot that there was a runner at third base, and it sucks because that 1 extra run made all the difference. Jonah Heim hit a 2-run Oppo Taco just past Mangum, who almost made the play of the century. Langford made it a 1-run game. He had an RBI double and then an RBI single. He had 3 base hits, his first multi-hit game in 2 weeks. But Seager, he just does not look right. He is 2 for 24 coming off the IL. Pete Fairbanks, he now has 11 saves. The Rays are 32-29. The Rangers are 4 games under 500. Now let's go find the worst call in MLB history, and this is according to StatCast. In terms of inches off the plate, this was the worst one. I don't know how I missed this because this was in the game before yesterday's. Laz Diaz made Angel Hernandez look like the best umpire in the game because Laz struck out Jake Mangum on a ball that was 6.83 inches off the plate, almost 7 inches off the plate. That is officially the worst call. That beats the Langford call from last year when Angel Hernandez called a baseball way off the plate. For guys with 10-plus games behind the dish, Laz Diaz has the worst accuracy rating of any of them. He also loves to eject people and curse back and get petty. It goes back to 2014 when Joe Girardi went ballistic on Laz because Laz called a terrible strike against Brett Gardner. And of course, Laz, he always likes to get some words in as well, including to Aaron Boone. This is one of my favorites of all time, Boone. He's mocking the strike 3 call after drawing a line in the dirt. That's one of my favorites. And then not too long ago, Torey Lovello really got into it with Laz Diaz when he wasn't even behind the dish, and Torey really got his money's worth, but that's just because Laz Diaz, he's sensitive. He doesn't know how to call balls and strikes. I don't know how umpires keep their jobs for so long. Again, he's been doing this for decades. This was one of the most boring games of the year. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say sorry for that either. But hey, look, Endy Rodriguez, he's back. I did not know that. So having Endy and Spencer Horwitz in the lineup, those are 2 pretty good ads over the last few weeks. IKF, that's the first run. Oneil Cruz, he singled Endy over to third. Oneil then stole second base. Oneil had another stolen base later. Wait for it. Kutch, picked up an RBI on the sac fly. So it's 2-0 for the rookie Mike Burrows. Tommy Pham, he had a nice little sliding grab out in left field before Jeremy Pena secured a 10-game hit streak. He's batting .315 with a 140 OPS plus, and he's second in WAR behind Aaron Judge in the American League. It's 3-0 for Burrows on a double play. That's it for the scoring, but I do want to show Oneil Cruz. He doubled and then stole third base. He has 22 stolen bases already. He had 22 all of last year. He's on pace for the second ever 30-60 season. Remember that Ronald, he went 40-70 2 years ago. Burrows ended up going 5 scoreless with 6 strikeouts. An awesome start for the rookie. He gets the W after Bednar struck out 2, and Oneil, he ran a ball down for the third out. By the way, Bednar, as bad as he's been, he has 27 strikeouts in 19 2/3. He has 7 saves. The Pirates are 23-39. The Astros are 33-28. Another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed or you learned something new, do me a couple favors. Leave a like and subscribe. Again, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy. That does it. Thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy the web gems. See you tomorrow.
2-2 to Toro, lined out to center field. Coming on is Adell to make a fine diving catch.
Swings at the first pitch. Diving stop by Steven. Is anybody home to take the throw? Just in time. First pitch in play. Young to his chest. Pops up. And a nice way to...
Drive just went out into right center field.